All right, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is what I was told about the Washington Wizards. And I was told this quite some time ago. John Wall and Bradley Beal not on the same page anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I was even told that Bradley Beal could be looking for a trade any day now. All right? It's just not in his character to quit on something. But he ain't happy with John Wall. If you've watched the Washington Wizards over the years, you've heard guys like Marcin Gortat hint at like, yo, I'm not happy right now. This team ain't playing for each other. We play better when Bradley Beal's running a point guard. Man, I'm looking at John Wall. He all types of kind of out of shape. Dude put on like 15, 20 pounds this summer. Did it feel like after he went to the Olympic scrimmage that they had in the middle of the summer, it feels like he went and lost like 10 of those pounds. But John Wall still has some weight on him. All right? That is not the young bull we seen come out of Kentucky like 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. He got some weight on him. And it just seems like, I'm not going to say John Wall is no longer working on his game. I would never disrespect that professional athlete like that. But to me, it just feels like there are guys out there working harder than what he's willing to put in. I seen John Wall in Atlanta twice my damn self this summer. He's out here. Like, he's having fun and he's worked hard. He's enjoying the fruits of his labor. But there are guys who still want championships. These young bulls, they not playing around. The Donovan Mitchells of the world, they want this. All right? The Ben Simmons of the world, they want to be great. And these guys, to me, are slowly starting to pass up guys like a John Wall. There is no reason this Washington Wizards team, what, they got 2-3 wins on the season? They got all that talent. John Wall is going to make like $45, $48 million in the last year of his new deal. He got a new $200 million deal, something close to that ain't even started yet. It starts next year. He's paid on that deal. Bradley Beal making great money. Otto Porter making great money. That's the worst, one of the worst contracts in the league. Him and Chandler Parsons, two of the worst contracts in the league. This Washington Wizards team, look, man, sometimes things in life just don't work out. On paper, to me, this team should be top 3, top 4 in the Eastern Conference every single year. You have John Wall and Bradley Beal in that backcourt. If they're all-stars, they always make the all-star game together. To me, right now, neither one of these guys should be on the all-star team. I don't care what they individually putting up. Neither one of these guys are all-stars with that team 2-7, 2-8, 3, whatever the hell they are. Playing terrible basketball right now. There's no turning this around. They lost to Toronto in the playoffs last year. You do realize that same Raptors team turned around and got swept by a depleted LeBron James Cleveland Cavalier team, right? You do realize that Cavalier team didn't win a game in the NBA Finals. That Washington Wizards team is not good. It's time you blow it up. To me, the guy with more trade value right now would be Bradley Beal because he's a shooter in a league that cares about shooting. I would want to keep Bradley Beal if I could and try to trade John Wall and get the most out of it. But I'm afraid it might be a little too late for that John Wall trade to get like a really big time deal. Like Minnesota. Okay, so Houston offered Minnesota 4 first-round picks for Jimmy Butler. I don't believe you get that type of trade offer for John Wall right now. You know, I'm just being honest. Jimmy Butler's bigger, two-way player, better shooter. I don't know who's going to trade for a point guard right now around the deadline. If that team continues to struggle and they don't make the playoffs, we got teams like Victor Oladipo and the Pacers doing it with a lot less. If that team can't, if they're struggling around January, you're going to have to blow it up. And I'm afraid they might have to trade Bradley Beal because it might be too late to trade John Wall and feel like you're getting an adequate return. Yeah. I'm trying to trade Otto Porter first. I want to get rid of that contract before anything else. I'm not worried about Dwight and that. I'm trying to get Otto Porter out of town first. I'm going to try the John Wall next. Try to keep Bradley Beal because with Bradley Beal, I can go get either a 1 or a 2. If I go get a 2, Brad can play the 1. Right? If I go get a 1, Brad can continue to play the 2 like he does right now. I want to keep Bradley Beal by all costs, but I think we might be past that point right now, unfortunately. And I don't know, man. I just been told from a couple guys who would know that John Wall ain't putting the work in that he needs to. Right? He ain't focused. And guys like Bradley Beal, I don't know if they said it to him yet. I would tend to believe not. Bradley Beal doesn't strike me as a confrontational dude. He's a good person. I tend to believe nobody calling John Wall out on this BS. His game is not progressing, and people are just passing him up. There are centers who are improving in their three-point shot more than John Wall. John Wall and Blake Griffin came around in the league around the same period. Blake Griffin's a better three-point shooter than John Wall is right now. That should not be the case. That should not be the case. They got to blow this team up, man. I think it's you got to. You got to blow it up. You got to blow that team up. They're not going to turn it around. I know what I know. They're not going to turn it around. That team, that's a bad team. They don't play together. They don't play together at all. Sorry, Washington. I know that fan base is y'all ride for y'all Wizards, but y'all championship window was like 2 or 3 years ago. Or let me not even say championship window. Y'all chance to make it to the finals was like 2 or 3 years ago, because ironically, the Wizards would have probably gave a LeBron James-led team last year a run for their money, maybe a couple years ago, a run for the money when Kevin Love went down. That team, that Wizards team, was better suited to play the Cavaliers. They had legs, shooting, all that. You look up right now, if you're Washington, let's say they do get it together and somehow make the playoffs. Let's say they're an 8 seed. You're an 8 seed. First round, you're playing the Toronto Raptors. Okay, let's say they get it together a little more. You're a 7 seed. You're probably playing the Boston Celtics. Okay, let's say they really push it. It's early in the season. They really turn this thing around. You're a 6 seed. You're probably playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, let's say they go out of their way, turn this thing around, and somehow, some way, the Wizards get a 5 seed. They get a 5 seed. They might be playing the Pacers or a couple other teams that could get that 4 seed. They can't beat any of those teams in a 7-game series. Victor Oladipo is better than anybody on the Wizards roster right now. The facts. And I ain't even bring up Philadelphia. I ain't even bring Philly into it. Yeah, it's time to blow that thing up. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the Wizards in the comment box below. Thank you so much for the time, love, support. If you have not done so, if you like my takes, I give you sports information all day long on my Instagram. That's Mr. Taliaferro TV. Please hit me on that and subscribe to this YouTube for more exclusive quality content like this. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. They are now tuned in.
Yo, we locked in right now, Mr.
Taliaferro. Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.